All right, everybody, welcome back to a lifetime of conversations where we only speak for a little bit, but it seems like a lifetime.
Yeah, we just drew it on.
Yeah, I hope you got a minute now.
All the things you never wanted to really hear, we're going to say.
And you're going to listen, damn it. Hey, Dave, did you watch any of the Olympics?
No. Are the Olympics sports?
Not...
Are they technically sports?
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
I did watch the breakdancing part.
So, okay, good. Yeah. That's all I really
know
wanted.
Japan won, and,
Yeah.
and it was okay.
But nobody's talking about Japan, are they? They're all talking about Ray Gun.
The dude with the junk that hit the thing? That was the...
No. The breakdancing woman from Australia.
Oh, she was terrible.
That's
Oh, my God, she was terrible.
Yeah.
Now, look, this is coming from someone who was a b-boy for 15 years. I've seen b-girls, b-boys, b-kids, b-old people. Mm-hmm. Okay, I've seen
Beelzebub.
Yeah. He came to me at night in a dream.
That could be her name. Speaking of that, she looked like she was a boogeyman sneaking into a little kid's room.
It's a shame. I feel really bad. Not that she needed work, but that you're in the Olympics.
Yeah.
This is not the backyard, event center or recreation center at your local, fucking Boys and Girls Club.
This is on national
It's the
television.
fucking Olympics. You should be mind-blowingly good to anyone who doesn't know a jack shit all about anything when it comes to it. But
you put yourself out there.
Oh yeah,
in front of the whole world, and you did this.
Yeah, and I feel really bad because and I've b-boyed with quite a bit of people: Germany, France, Japan, China. I mean, when we go to, I've been to the Pro-Am, I've been to the Summit, I've been to the Rocksteady Reunion, and numerous times I went to California, to Florida, to New York, and for multiple years we went. And there are incredibly talented people out there who love the art and love the music and express it in their own way. And I don't know, I have to be honest, I've never b-boyed with an Australian person. Maybe that's what's good in Australia. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
They didn't have anybody else.
I know.
And instead of Australia...
you.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe.
Yeah. Catch you go on by the tail.
Do you know what Australia should have said? Well, we're going to sit this one out, mate.
Yeah.
But no. And the funny thing is, I mean, look, if you're going to give yourself a name like Ray Gun, you better come out pistols firing.
Right. You pew pew. I don't know, something. I mean, but okay, the thing about names, technically, now I tried to give myself my own nickname when it came to b-boy in the beginning. I used to call myself Crazy D, and they shot me down, all of them. You're not allowed to make your own nickname.
Yeah.
Someone else has to give it to you. Mm-hmm. So then, I went, I would say it was about 6 months to a year and a half, and finally they came up with Delirious because I was insane. I would do whatever it took to learn, to get harder, to get better, to do, and I would try crazy things, and they called me Delirious. And that was it. Once it was made, it was
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say, I don't like to. No.
Yeah. No. I mean, they could have called me Shit Nugget, and I would have had to stick with it. Well,
Coco the
maybe,
monkey.
But yeah. Oh, that's rough. I know I did see it. My wife was like, did you see this? And I didn't until she showed it to me. I'm like, I wish I didn't see it now that you showed this to me because I feel really bad.
I like the funny thing, like after a terrible move, like crossing the arms and giving the face.
It's so cliched. Like, Cliched went out in 1989.
Yeah.
Like, we even left Cliched behind in the 1999s when we were b-boying. Like, you evolve. Breakdancing is much like we talked about the economy and social. It evolves. It evolves quickly, but it's underground, so most people don't really know about it. Yeah. But when we see the difference between, back in the 90s, there was a move called the 1990, where you went on your hand and you spun on one hand in a 360 turn. Mm-hmm. But then when the 2000s came, they evolved it, and it became the 2000, and you spun on two hands, which is significantly fucking harder. I can never pull it off. But that's my point, is that the evolution, even in the dance itself, like ballerinas, like they have choreographs, and they have, and I'm sure it evolves, but
It's like classical music.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right. It's based off of this. That doesn't change. That's not supposed to change. We don't want it to change. We want it to be classical and this. But breakdancing is it's like street art. You know, you see tags on a wall and you're like, look, some moron scribbled some shit I can't even read. But then you see a piece of street art on a wall that has vibrant colors and majestic angles and perception, and you're like, that's really good. That's to me the difference of Australia and New York.
That's the best they had on that continent, apparently.
Yeah.
So if somebody sees
There
you,
had to be more.
if somebody sees you spinning on one hand right now, thinking back, you're living in the past, man.
Yeah.
That's the 1990s, bro.
Well, they went
Seriously.
from even hang gliders, like hang gliders used to be like where you do this one thing, and then they reverted that where you're you can't explain the move without seeing it, but everything evolves. Like even the windmill, right? You go back to 1988 or 1984, Breakin' One, Electric Boogaloo, and these dudes were doing windmills, right? And they were just standard windmills. And then we fast forward 25 years, and they were doing crunch mills, which meant you buckle your knees up, and you're now like doing a windmill in a crunch position, which is significantly harder because you don't have momentum and your legs to turn your body, so you're putting a lot of force. Again, it always evolves, and everything she did looked so old.
I know, like a 1980s McDonald's commercial
Yes.
with people dressed up like the Fresh Prince.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very good.
Yeah,
and
but-
that was really fresh and hot for the time. Yeah. But no. Okay, yeah, it's a shame. I thought you were talking about the only other thing I saw, because of course this is what social media does to you. I don't watch the Olympics. I don't watch sports. I don't care, and I get it. Look, these are the best people in the world. They got to be good. I mean, you're in the fucking Olympics. The guy who pole vaulted, and he hit the thing with his junk.
Yeah, his penis knocked the pole down.
And plus, that dude was packing. Holy shit! It had to be like almost a half of it was like a foot and a half. What the fuck, man? Tuck it. Tape it.
What? No,
You're in the Olympics.
Dude, it was
your
sticking
dick
out.
cost you the gold or some shit. I mean, what?
Yeah, no, if you really look at it, it's only sticking out a very little bit.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
just a little. It's like a little mushroom that.
I don't know about that,
knocked
man. It looked like a log, man.
Look, I don't know. I have the poster taped to my ceiling in my bedroom. If you want to see it.
You sick fuck. That's the only other thing I saw when it comes to the Olympics.
But I mean, look, if somebody says that she can't break dance, that's fine. But she broke the internet.
Oh yeah. Hey, infamy, fame, infamy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's going for. Maybe I'm going to be so bad that I'm going to be famous because of it.
No.
Because, you know, Teresa, her name was T-Rex. T-Rex, right? W-R-E-K-S. You know, it's funny. Underground and hip-hop is a very unique thing. We have our own little world, and I'm not even in the world anymore. I'm 3 times removed, because most of us are, because you have to grow up, and unless you do it for a living and you teach kids, you got to leave it behind. And plus, I'm fucking old. I can't do that shit. I got to stretch for an hour before I could do one move. But T was amazing. Like when it came to her soul and her movements and her understanding of the music to the body movement. And when it was a shame from my memories of Teresa dancing to watching her. Like, I felt bad for the whole country. I really did. I'm like, yeah.
Oh God.
Is that where you were going? That's where you wanted to go?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet memes.
I was really happy that breakdancing got into the Olympics, because I think it should have. It's very difficult to judge. It's a very hard.
Because it's subjective.
It is. It's like art, you know, and it's like, I mean, you let curling in, so fucking b-boying is a lot fucking harder than brushing ice. But it is tough. But then this is what you get. You get hit with scrutiny no matter, you know.
Yeah.
And Japan, they are hardcore, man. They incorporate a lot of martial arts, a lot of big movement, a lot of very anime type movements, and they deserve it. They're good. You know, they work really hard for it.
Yeah.
It's really about, is it on beat? Is it corresponding to the music? Is it relevant what they're doing? Each move has to be relevant to the beat, to the music, you know, because that's kind of the point.
Right. You know? But how do you judge dancing? Like in a race,
I don't know.
I crossed the finish line before you. I win.
Right. There's very.
But yes, somebody's like, but the way he moved his legs was so graceful. I don't give a shit. I'm faster.
But I guess you'd have to base it off of a large scale, like 10 people, and then you see the difference, the same move. Because generally, no matter how you look at it, most dance, whether you're a ballerina, tap dancer, a break dancer, you're doing the same things everyone else is doing.
Sure.
But slightly different.
Like figure skating.
Right.
That's subjective also, to
It
a
is.
point.
Yeah, because they're all doing relatively the same things, but maybe they mix them up. They do a little extra. They tweak it a little. They change something. So that change has to be based on the original. And that's what we, in the B-boy world, we call biting. You don't bite somebody else's moves. If I see you do a cool move and I can do the exact same move, I can't take it from you. Not without consequence. Now, the consequence in the B-boy world is you get shit on. Now, that's basically how we live our lives on the internet now, right? I mean, look what happened to her. You can't bite. You either have to change it, make it your own, or uniquely use it in a way that person didn't. And that's the only way you can take, because otherwise everyone bit off of every windmill ever made, you know? But then we change it to a crunch mill. Then we change it to a halo. And then things, you know, flares turn to halos. And a flare is when it's like, you ever see those guys on the horses and they kick their legs around?
Yeah.
Right? That's a flare. But when b-boying, you do it on the ground. It's really fucking hard. I can only ever pull off 1.5. They were really hard. But then they changed them to air flares.
He's just floating around like an astronaut.
Push off the ground with one hand and do the same move in the air and land on the other hand. It's fucking amazing. But I would never be able to do that. Plus my age and time and energy and, you know, and some people just can't do certain things. Body structure, physicality, will, drive, practice, you know, a fucking Olympic person, their whole lives are about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because the only way you get there is to be that good. No one just is an Olympic person. Like, I don't work at the convenience store and all of a sudden I'm so good at this thing, I'm going to the Olympics. You got a trainer, you worked, you have a regimen, diet, food, you know.
Well, they could have shelf stocking in the Olympics.
Not to say that anybody can't be an Olympic person.
They could have nicknames like Snickers, Ring Ding.
Snickers. That reminds me of Hudson Hawk.
Oh, that one Snickers wrapper is upside down. That's going to cost them 0.5 point.
Yeah,
So
then
close.
Where do we draw the? And then there's people talking about like, well, wow, breakdancing's in. Where do we draw the line at Olympic sports? I'm like, man, fuck you.
It's only going to be there for this 1 year. It was something that they just added for this.
Sure,
year.
but I, you know, you have to test it out. And you know what it is? We just don't. Our community doesn't have the type of people that go to conventions, go to places where people b-boy, are not the kind of people that watch the Olympics. Not generally. So that's where you lose. Like, you're going to get all the people that are already watching the Olympics going, what is this? Right? You're trying to get new blood.
Yeah, it's like going to the mall. Most people don't go to the mall, but if you do, ooh, what's this store? Oh, they opened up a Cinnabon over here. That wasn't here last week.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a mall in America that doesn't have a Cinnabon.
Yeah.
It'd be different if they opened up like a... Oh, I can't even think of
something other than Cinnabon.
Anything other than like an Annie's pretzel. Oh no, those are there too.
Those are really good.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I had to stop watching. It was so bad. Like, I watched it once. I'm like, I don't need to see that ever again. Like,
oh God! And being in the Olympics sucks. It's not like they're in beautiful hotels and they get treated well and they get paid. It's almost a pain in the ass to do it.
Yeah, I mean, plus, who gets? It's not the athletes that get all the high-end stuff. It's all the people that pay for those really expensive tickets and really expensive hotels 6 years in advance, right? And most people don't even think about my personal opinion about the economics of the country it's held in. What it does to the people that live there. I don't want the Olympics coming anywhere near where we live right now. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it destroys everything.
You have to change infrastructure. And like, it builds jobs. I'm like, it doesn't really.
No.
It's, first of all, it's temporary. And then half the time, whatever it goes back to doesn't benefit anybody in the good. It is a shame. And it's almost like a kind of Roman Colosseum type angle where, you know, you love the ooh and ah, but you don't really look behind the curtain. Yeah. You know, and
like they did it in a very poor country one time, and they spent billions of dollars not feeding people, building all this stuff, and then the Olympics are gone, and now there's just a bunch of rooms left behind.
Yes. Yeah. They don't repurpose. Yeah. Like, you can't sustainably repurpose. You can't. I mean, they just seem to not go the effort because there's no money in it. If there's no money like the Olympics, we made our money. We don't need this anymore.
One place did that they actually repurposed everything. I wrote a paper about it.
That would be great. But sadly enough, if you can only remember one,
yeah, I can't remember.
How many places have the Olympics been held? What is it, every 4 years?
Yeah, every 4 years they have a winner, and then they have something.
But there's an Olympics every year.
No, every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
So that means that every 2 years, even though it's in advance to where it's going to be, it's still going on.
Yeah, like summer was this year. 2 years will be the winter. Then in another 2 years
is that
will
how
be
it
the
works?
summer.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. See, that's how little I know about the fucking Olympics.
So if you're 16 years old now in the Olympics, when you're 20, maybe you could be in it again. After that, who knows?
Right. And at that point, I think the older you get, the harder it would even be to compete with that type of level.
Unless you're one of the people that dance around while spinning the ribbon in a circle. I'm sure you could pretty much do that into your 50s.
For a while. I mean, who knows?
Wow, look how perfectly round that ribbon
Look at all these young
is.
ribbon spinners taking my job. They took our job.
They took our jobs. And, dude, do you know what I love? The ping pong?
Oh, man. There are certain sports that I will watch clips of because it is mind-bogglingly fascinating to that they are so good. You can't even see the ball.
Yeah.
Like you don't even you see them, but you're like there's something happening that I'm just, you can even track it with a computer. Like they already started adding that to hockey where you can track the puck because sometimes people would have problems with you can't fucking track shit. I can't even see what's going on.
Yeah, I saw Japan and China doing a ping pong game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit, this could start World War III.
Makes Forrest Gump look like fucking Forrest Chump. Yeah.
But I've seen like games where like they're 20 feet away from the table. Bang. No, this was like close quarter.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like they're literally
didn't get to that.
12 to 15 feet away and they're playing the game. Like the level to me to that is so far beyond. Like we think of ping pong and we're like, look, I got it over the net.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, I'm fairly crappy at ping pong. Like I can play like we used to play volleyball on the beach, with Ted and a bunch of our friends, in Long Island, and they were really good. All of them were much better than me, but I tried really hard and I was adequate enough. Right,
held your own.
Right, as best I could. But whenever people would be like, can we play? And it's like a family and they all just want to stand on four. Like we played 2-on-2. That's beach volleyball.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
It's not 5-on-5 and everyone has their hands up like this, hitting the ball with their fists and smashing it. Like we would just be like, no, this is our net. We're playing 2. You can play 2 versus 2 and we'll play you. You're going to get crushed. And especially if you attempt to play someone who's really good, they will destroy you on purpose. Yeah. They'll embarrass you because this is not the kiddie table.
No, you're gonna have Sensei John Kreese on the sideline sweep the leg.
Right, exactly.
Do you have a problem with that?
And I kind of understand, because they let me play, but there were times they'd be like, Dave, this is a serious game, and I'm like, I get it, I suck. It's
like,
okay.
Dave,
right.
you know what? Why don't you go stretch out?
Go play with your skimboard in the water, and that's what I did. But it's okay. I accepted that. I wasn't, I was happy to be involved in. I'm actually, when it comes to everyday people, I'm fairly good with volleyball. I actually am. But when it comes to anybody better, that's how I look at the Olympics. This is not the rec center.
No.
I could never even attempt. I couldn't even attempt competitions when I was a b-boy. I did it because I loved it. I love the people. I love the music. I love the environment. I love the vibe. There is a certain feeling. It's like clubs when you go enough that it's an aura, I can't explain it. Anybody who understands,
walking in and you could just taste the air.
You can not only taste it but smell it, but the vibrations, the atmosphere, the cheering, the oh shit, oh, it's a game. Just like a sport game. Yeah. I get the same understanding when I see someone, I don't know, kick a field goal or some shit. And everyone's like, yes! So I'm like, yeah.
Or when someone slam dunks a basketball and their nuts smack someone in the forehead. And everybody in the stone's like,
that happen?
Covering their mouth.
Is that a thing that happens?
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
You used to see the woman in the locker room after the basketball game.
I didn't look into this, but I almost want to, there's got to be people asking the question and interviewing, what were you thinking? Did you ever, watch any kind of breakdancing? Because if you did, you'd go, I'm not good enough for the Olympics.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to degrade what these people do because it's more than I've ever done. let's just say. But there's still a point where someone's got to pull you aside and go, should we rethink this? Like, maybe we should start with a competition somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if she did the Rocksteady Reunion or the B-Boy Summit or the Pro-Am here in Florida, which still goes on, by the way, every year, she would have got fucking ass laughed out. They would have embarrassed her to the point of suicide and crying if you attempted that in a competition. Yeah. Now, if you just get out in a circle and you're trying, we're a pretty forgiving community. Mm-hmm. But the moment you want to say I'm better than you is where breakdancing started from the streets and it ends in the streets. Yeah. You know, there's only a couple of rules. No touching, no biting. And if you bite, you better be ready for that person to not come back and defend their moves. Biting a move, stealing a move.
If you can't hit somebody,
biting. That's not what I meant.
Bite them.
That's not what I meant. I know I went back to old B-boy terminology. No biting. No stealing a move.
No stealsies.
Right. But there's repercussions, and the repercussions are very, let's say, tribal. I want to put them as tribal. They're not so PC, not so like, here's a participation trophy. You ain't getting the participation trophy, okay? They don't even give you a towel when you're sweating at that point. Look, go home, hang up your shorts. Yeah.
Poor Ray Gunn.
I don't even know her name.
She danced. Yeah, her name is Rachel Gunn, so they call her Ray Gunn.
So it was based off her name?
Yeah.
There's no real point to the... All right,
it's almost like Ronald Reagan. I mean, he should have been breakdancing at the fucking Olympics.
Okay. I didn't know that, and that's a really sad reason for a nickname.
But okay. And then afterwards,
did she have a crew? Was she, because most breakdancers, there are individual B-boys, but most B-boys have a crew. Right. They have, even if it's just a couple of people they collaborate with, they dance with, because you need to feed off of other people. It's not a very individualistic sport, even if you look at it as a sport, or, it's involving. You need critique. You need someone better than you, someone worse than you to feed off of, to work.
Yeah, she had a crew, Mom, Dad, and Uncle Larry. He had a funny eye tick, but he was clapping. He was clapping. No. She didn't have a crew. I mean, she needed a cleanup crew.
Yeah,
she needed.
Yeah,
but and then on the internet, like, so many people sticking up for her. And I'm like, look.
I get both sides, but it's the Olympics.
If I hit a camera in your garage and taped you doing something like that, and then you thought it was private, and then I humiliated you on the internet, that's wrong.
Right.
But for you to go out there and be folding your arms and making mean mugging the camera.
Yes, you knew exactly what was going on.
Dancing like you're having an epileptic seizure. You put yourself out there.
I mean, it was choppy. It was offbeat. It was very clunky. It looked like someone that had potential to be better, but was nowhere near good. Yeah. And that's, in my personal opinion, as seeing hundreds, if not thousands of B-boys personally and on videos. We used to watch video after video, like where people, all right, here's the example, like sports. You go home, you guys watch the game together. You saw the game tonight, but you watch an old game that you know what happens, but you're critiquing stance and batting and throwing and pitching, right? We would watch B-boy competitions, and you got to watch what they're doing, what's trending, what's hot, what did they do wrong, were they on beat, what was their clothing like? Did their clothing interfere with the moves? Because that is a big deal. Like if your clothes are too baggy or something falls off, did you play it off? Did you work with it? I know this stuff means nothing to most people, but you have to relate it in the sense that it all is the same, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, or breakdancing.
Right. You look at it as a complete performance.
Right.
What did you do with what you were given?
And this goes back to judging. Like, how do they judge? There has to be some sort of format, and I'm sure if they threw it together, they have to at least stick by it, even though it might not be fair or perfect. But there's got to be something.
Right, like if you're dancing and your sunglasses fly off and you snatch them with your right hand out of midair. Sweet!
Oh, yes. Right. Good example. Yeah. Perfect. I had one where this dude, there was an old move where they used to do this thing where they would do something, whatever it was, up rock, down, power moves, and they would take off their shoe and use it as a phone. And again, this is like the 90s, and we were all just searching. You're all searching for a click, for a gimmick. One of my buddies, Ricky, he was named Skills, and he was a great b-boy. He really was very unique, and he used to use a lot of Street Fighter. Shoryuken, but he did it in a way that was just so poetic, and he would say it as the music and as he was dancing, and it worked every time, and it was beautiful. So this kid was hitting me, and he did it. We were dancing, and it's a competition, and he does the whole shoot thing. So I'm like, okay, you can do that, I can do that, but I did it in a windmill. So in the windmill, as I came around, when I was coming for that ground pose, like you'd always see in like breakdancing, I had pulled my shoe off on the way back from the windmill, ended on the ground with the shoe on my hand and my hand on my cheek, on the ground. And at that moment, everyone, what? Like, because whatever I did was better than what he did.
Yeah.
Right? So I trumped him badly, like really badly. Like, and he kept grabbing his nuts, like every other. Did he
put them up to his ear?
No, the whole nut grab thing.
Telephone.
Not that kind of grab.
Do you know what would have been cool if you made like a prop shoe and you take it off and have like an antenna that pulls out like the old school?
That would be. See, now if you had prep, now that's where competitions go the extra mile. Now, as long as it doesn't affect your performance, that's fine. That's game, because you anticipated what someone was going to use, or if you knew it was hot and trendy, you trumped it. And you made that move better. Right. I didn't steal it. I made it better. That's my point.
Or have like one of those curly cords attached to your ankle, and it looks like you're
there was, okay, I'll just do one more example, and then I'll stop talking about it, because I could go on for days. There was, like, all right, I'll give you an example. Ravers and B-boys don't get along, because ravers are drugged out retards that just spin sticks, and very, 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 very few amount of them are actually good at anything. Right. Because some of them are impressive when they move the thing. But, okay. Let's leave it at that. A lot of glow sticks, a lot of glowing things, and drugs. And now B-boys and ravers don't get along. So this one time we were there, and I worked in a nightclub, and we had different nights of the week were different things, and it was a rave night. Whatever, man. I mean, I'm just working. I don't care. But everybody was like, oh, come on. This guy was just out there, drugged out, spinning his hands around, doing dumb shit with fucking glow sticks. And I went on, and I'm watching him, and then he stepped to me. Which, I can't explain it. It's like you see in the streets, like when someone like they front, like they step
they're
at
challenging you.
Yes, it's a challenge. I'm trying to explain it in, I guess, white terms or like non-ghetto terms.
Like this gentleman was waving glow sticks around.
He was
high on
challenging
ecstasy.
He slapped me with a white glove, right? So
he exposed his genitals to
they
you.
were like, everyone, my friends and people that worked there, are like, oh, you can't let him do like that. You can't let him do it. It's like. So the dude one of the people there gave me 2 glow sticks. I turned around, I put them in my shoes, in between my laces, and I did my routine with them in my shoes, and I started doing windmills. And, it looked pretty cool, because someone recorded it and showed it to me. And this was before cell phones, so it was like I had to see the recording like a week later when they brought the tape in. And he left. Like, he left the floor. Like, I won.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I didn't want to win. I didn't even want to participate. You stepped to me.
Yeah, he rattled the cage.
I was just watching your idiot, drugged out ass do dumb shit. You're not even on beat. It doesn't make sense what you're doing, right? So this is, again, when it comes to the judging, and we're always going to judge. But I agree. This is the Olympics.
Yeah.
This is the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like the Parthenon. Like, what the fuck? This poor girl.
Whatever.
Ray gun.
Yeah, actually, go to Amazon.
I don't wanna.
No, not YouTube. Go to Amazon, type in ray gun, and there's a Halloween costume flying off the shelf.
No, there isn't.
Oh, there is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, her exact costume is on sale for Halloween.
Unfortunately, it sets back breakdancing. Now, because breakdancing originated in New York City. It is a very American, New York eccentric thing, right? And it's spread throughout the whole world. And that's got to tell you something. It really does. The fact that something that was nothing spread to the world, and it started from cardboard boxes and beatboxing when there was no music, because poor kids on the streets couldn't afford a fucking boombox. Right. So there was somebody beatboxing, there was somebody rapping, and there was somebody breakdancing, and there was somebody tagging graffiti, and there was the 5 elements of hip hop, and there was somebody that was narrating or emceeing. Right, those are the 5 elements of hip hop, and they're all relevant at every convention you ever go to. But when you see it from another, everybody was just gonna. Well, it is Australia. I mean, like, what do they know about breakdancing? Like, I don't know. I can't say that, but this is 30, 40 years later.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have the internet, you have YouTube. I mean, you could learn about breakdancing pretty quickly.
I like the way you said, if you have the internet.
Yeah.
Like, there are, like, small tribes in Africa that have the internet, which means that just
and they
about,
fight over it.
well, it doesn't matter. Like, they still have access to it, whether it's a phone that 3 people share, whether it's the school, whether it's this. It doesn't matter. My point is that 94% of the world, so let's just say 7 billion plus people, have the internet.
Yeah, I know. And it's so fucked up because
You can't hide anywhere anymore.
I mean, there'll be people in countries, they're starving to death and they have no food. Do you know how I know? They're tweeting it.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to degrade anybody's position or situation, but it's the point that there's no hiding. And you put yourself on the biggest billboard ever. Every 2 years, the biggest billboard, and you're almost a pioneer. If they're only doing this breakdancing thing as a test, why would you pick the worst? Go out there and find some really fucking amazing people so that people go, this is absolutely amazing. You ever watch the Jabberwockies? They were on like a lot of the Dancing with the Stars and crap back in the day. No. And they were a crew. I think they were from L.A. I want to say South Central California. They all wore masks, these really cool masks. And there was about 10 or 12 of them, 15 of them, probably more now. They had some fucking amazing choreographs. And you never knew who any of them were. They were all innocuously hidden behind a mask. And they did lights and shows, and it was phenomenal. It really was. Like, it could have been any one of them, even if it was a girl. And I don't even look at it as a boy-girl gender thing. You know, there are B-girls and B-boys, and that shouldn't matter anymore. And it shouldn't have really mattered to begin with. Sports are different because of just literal physical strength and size and all that. But doesn't mean you can't be a good dancer. Right. Get somebody at least good.
Gives me an idea. That could be a great slogan for the b-boy community. Boys will be boys and girls will be girls. B-boys, be girls.
Well,
boys will be boys.
It's actually a song. Be girls, be... I don't remember the song. I don't know. It wasn't...
No, I made it up.
I made it up. Well, it was something similar to that, but...
I made it up and we're going to shoot the space station into deep space. And that's it.
And that's it.
End of discussion.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so now if I see somebody fall off their bike or whatever, I'm like, you have all the grace of an Australian breakdancer.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
You know what? It's funny because, like, when we went to California, which is the B-Boy Summit back in 1998, and we spoke about it once with Logic, B-Boy Logic, remember? We never posted that because I wanted to make a second episode to finish it, and we haven't gotten around to it yet. But when we went there, everybody has their own cassette tape. Now you have to also go back to the time, right? Some people had CDs, but we had cassette tapes that were mixed with all the greats and whatever we like to listen to. And then you get like people from France or people from Germany, and their music is very, very different. And that would fight about like, what do you listen to? What you listen to is whack, right? But it's culturally acceptable there, but not here. And you turn around and be like, we're from New York. We'll listen to whatever the fuck we want. We created this shit. You know, like, it's kind of ownership to that point.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't matter because if they're better than you, then they beat your ownership. So, yeah.
It's like pulling an ace out of the deck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you win. I can't, doesn't matter. That's fun. Right. Well, let's hope it makes a comeback and they do better. Do gooder. Do gooder Olympics.
They couldn't do worser.
Oh my God. I mean, I've seen 8-year-old kids that 8-year-old girls that b-boy like 10,000 times better than that. Like that would just your jaw would drop. Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, well,
I
we've shit on this poor girl enough.
I basically said that was Australia's way of declaring war on the entire world.
They declared war on the hip-hop community. No one's going to fight them because we feel bad for them. They're not going to win this war.
Yeah. Well, she got done dancing, and the next breakdancer was like,
"You know
that's
what?
not a knife. It's a knife."
What I really think about is, now what does she do? Because
would you like fries with that?
You can't
throw another shrimp on the barbie. She can go work it out.
You
back
can't go back
steakhouse.
to be. I mean, unless you double down, triple down, quadruple down, went back and became 10 times better than you were at this moment, that has been caught on now immortal film, right? There's no way you'll ever recover. No way. No. So it would have to be such a transformation that people couldn't not accept it. Yeah. Right. And I find that very hard to believe. I saw her stature. I saw her size. She didn't look like she had the will. Like, b-boying comes with a certain amount of will and drive and gumption. I can't explain it. It's a hunger.
Right.
And she had none of it.
Yeah,
she didn't even have any kind of, most of these people, they have like stage presence. Is that kind of the word? Like how they, you could fake the front, fake it till you make it.
Right.
No, you faked it, or you tried, and it looked like you were faking it.
Yeah, no.
So that's not working.
Yeah, it's more like stage fright.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Maybe it was that. Maybe she's really fucking good. And the idea that she was now put in front of billions of people. Not millions, not hundreds, not a few, billions. Yeah. Like, I've danced in crowds up to about 3,000, 4,000 people. And it is very unnerving and very unsettling. But you have to get used to it. It's something you either do it, get past it, or never do it. That's it. There's no in between. Because if you fuck up, they don't put you back there. If you do really good and you can't handle it, you're good at it and you know it, but you can't do it, you can't get past it. So at that point, to do that in front of that many people, no, that's I don't know. I would never, but I'll move to Australia. Maybe I'll be the next fucking. At least I could beat her. Like, hey,
look what you had last time.
I'm very sorry, Australia. Yeah. I mean, do gooder.
Yeah, do gooder.
Do gooder for the Olympics.
I mean, first we turn Australia into an international prison for the bad people in Europe. Now this.
Well, I mean, we didn't do it, but
they did
somebody did it.
Man, one of the worst criminals. They're like, so how far away can we send these people? Like, there's a place
literally the other side of the world.
Wouldn't it be cheaper to kill them?
It's so far away, it's tomorrow.
Technically.
Well, to them, we're yesterday. So they're the future.
Send them off on a ship. Cheerio, we'll see you at the Olympics.
All right, well.
That's all I got
to say what do you guys think? Not that I think anybody's going to leave a comment on it, because I think enough comments have been made about this. But, so those are our opinions. And, I mean, Rob had way more than I did, because I only saw 2 things from the entire. Did you watch any of the other parts of the Olympics?
Not really. I mean, I saw a couple people swimming around.
Where do you even watch it? Like, do you have to pay for it? Is it on TV?
Yeah, it's on like several different channels.
Okay, and I don't watch TV, so I don't actually.
It was in different time zones, so they played some stuff at night. They had baseball. They had golf. The United States won a gold in golf, so they had a bunch of stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, my God is better than your God. My sport ball is better than your sport ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's all the same. My b-boy is definitely better than your b-boy. It's fine. But, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening to A Lifetime of Conversations, and we're going to catch you later.